All right, so I think we are a go. Take it away, Doug.
All right. Well, good morning, everybody that's on the call this morning. My name is Doug Curry. I'm the Member Experience Manager with the YMCA Member Experience Manager with Expresso. And I appreciate you guys taking some time out of your day this morning to learn a little bit more about the Rally for the Y, which is kicking off in February. Today on the call, well, first of all, tell you a little bit about myself. Sorry, getting the feelers. So on the call today, the purpose of today's call is to talk a little bit about the Rally for the Y. But my role with the YMCA, working with the YMCAs and Expresso, before joining Expresso, I had a 14-year career with the Ys. So I was brought on board to help Ys better engage with programs such as the Rally to help them maximize the true potential that Expresso has in creating communities. So today on the call, we'll talk a little bit more about the Rally and how it can benefit your Ys. But I wanted to introduce our speakers real quick. On the call with us today, we'll hear from Mike Regal from the Berwick area YMCA in Pennsylvania. We also have Josh Bender from the Glow YMCA in New York. We have Courtney Severson from the Metro Atlanta YMCA, and Kim Miller from the Silicon Valley YMCA. So we'll hear some tips and tactics that they've used in the past with their Rally for the Y campaigns to really help those on the call that are looking to maximize the month of February to support their Ys with dollars that go directly back to your YMCAs. So we'll jump in. We'll do an overview of what the Rally is. Again, the Rally for the Y is a campaign throughout the month of February where Expresso partners with the Ys on engaging your members to raise money. Last year, we had 258 YMCAs participating with over 5,200 riders, and we collectively raised over $100,000, and we're looking to grow all of those numbers this year. So let's jump in, and again, we'll just go over this a little bit. The Rally is intended to be more than just about the dollars and cents. It's a great way to build a community working towards a common goal, getting your members and staff engaged in a goal and setting a goal and achieving it. More importantly than the dollars, I think, is the ability of the Rally to help you tell your stories about where your dollars go. Each YMCA has initiatives that they raise money for, whether it's Live Strong, sending kids to camp, membership initiatives. Every Y is unique in where their dollars go, and this is a great way to utilize the Rally to educate your members about the philanthropic dollars and where those go at your Y. The Rally is an easy way for staff to get engaged. I know, remembering back when I was a frontline wellness director, my executive would tell me to go ask people for money, and I'd kind of cringe and shake a little bit. But with the Rally, it's easier to ask somebody to hop on and ride a bike than it might be to just ask them for a straight donation. The Rally helps create a culture and a community of passionate Expresso riders, which we'll hear a little bit about from some of our guest speakers. And then it's also a way I found to engage youth in the campaign, teaching our youngest members about what the Rally is and what the Y is and where dollars go to kind of make it a teachable moment for them. So those are some of the incentives of the Rally aside from the dollars. So how it works, hopefully by now you're all registered for the Rally. You can do so at expresso.com/rally for the Y. But basically throughout the month of February, all YMCAs all riders at YMCAs that are registered that are logged in will raise 10 cents a mile from Expresso. But where it sort of maximizes the outreach of the Rally is when staff and members are encouraged to raise additional dollars in support from friends and families, kind of casting a wider net of support. So everything is tracked online. Supporters are directed to your donation link. Expresso doesn't collect any of the money. We just kind of point them in the right directions to your specific donation pages where they can make contributions. Riders who raise $100 will earn a badge, their Rally badge, which will show up on the leaderboards. And all riders that raise $100 will be entered into a raffle to win an extra $1,000 for their Y's annual campaign. Expresso will also donate another $1,000 for the top fundraising team overall. So those are some of the nuts and bolts. We last week, hopefully you've seen it. There's a really good video that details, how to register, how to create your account, all the details that can be found at this link right here, expresso.com/rally video. However, if that's not helpful and you need more kind of personal training with you or your staff about how to be successful with the rally, how to set it up, we'd be happy to work one-on-one with your branch or your association to do that. So just reach out to one of us here at Expresso and we'd be happy to do that. So that's how it works. Again, the purpose of this call, and to be sensitive to everyone's time, is to really talk about the success stories and what others have done to find success. We've got 4 great speakers, as I introduced, and we'll just go one by one and hear their stories and how they were able to be successful. First up, we have Mike Regal from the Berwick area YMCA. Mike is a self-proclaimed wellness guru, kind of a jack of all trades throughout his Y. And their Y last year had 171 riders, raising over $5,500. So Mike, thank you for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
All right. So Mike, you've been involved with the rally for a long time. This is our 3rd year and you've been involved. Can you tell us a little bit about your history and your Y's history with the rally?
Well, we've been doing, even before it was the rally, we started long before that when you first offered the 10 cents a mile. And the biggest mistake we made back then was not getting the word out soon enough. By the end of the month, that's when all of our riders just started getting started. So now we talk about the rally year round. Everybody is waiting for February. We get a little buzz going and excitement building as the year goes on. Some of the pictures you put up there, we do not have any recumbent bikes, so we decided to make our own out of, you see, a nice office chair. It does work and it is comfortable. So we got a lot of staff involved, and that picture on the right there, some of our staff members riding. Each year we have one staff member that will end up riding over 1,000 miles, which is pretty incredible. Seeing that they spend most of their time at the Y anyway, to put extra hours in to put 1,000 miles in on the bike is incredible. We constantly talk about the rally. No one can walk by the bikes without someone saying, "Hey, hop on with us." We even hosted an overnight event, bottom right picture there. So we had all 6 bikes going throughout the night. The participants loved it. We're planning on doing a lot more of those this year.
So Mike, you talked about engaging the staff, and as a frontline wellness coach, what advice would you have for someone a call that need to do the same thing, need to get their frontline staff really bought in? What are some of the ways that you were able to communicate that to your fellow floor staff?
And again, it goes back to talking a lot about it and building the excitement. Some of the frontline staff actually got on the bike and rode a lot. Other frontline staff were just excited about it. And, excitement is contagious. So if someone's excited about it, it's just going to keep growing. Talk is what we did. And, I didn't take no for an answer. So.
All right. Mike, I know you hit upon it, but talk a little bit more in depth about that one event that you had, the overnight, just kind of how it came to be, some of the, thinking behind that.
We have, like every YMCA, you probably have busy times where the bikes are just not available. So the overnight came out of necessity to say, we're going to make more hours in the day. If we can't afford more bikes at the present time, we're going to make more hours. We brought in speakers, DJ lights, food, snacks. We had people sign up for 1-hour time slots, and the whole entire night for all 6 bikes were completely filled. We even had extra people show up just in case someone got tired. But that's how that came into being, and people talked about that throughout the year, and they're ready to do it again.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Mike. Certainly, we're gonna move on to the next. But certainly, at the end of this, guys, I meant to tell you we're gonna try to get through our speakers, but leave plenty of time to go through some Q&A if you have specific questions for Mike or any of the other speakers. Next, we're gonna move on to Josh Bender. Josh is the Director of Health and Wellness, Director of Wellness and Membership at the Glow Area YMCA. they had 74 riders and raised $5,500. The unique part about Josh's Y, and welcome, Josh.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Josh, your branch only had 3 bikes, but somehow you guys managed to place 3rd overall, raising $5,500. Tell us a little bit about how you kind of maximized those 3 bikes throughout the month of February.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year was our first year participating in the Rally for the Y Challenge, and we just decided as a group we needed to find a way to overcome the excuse of only having 3 bikes. So what we did was we kind of challenged staff and key members to be leaders throughout different points of the day. And, we had some of our early morning members really take charge and always make sure that we were utilizing the bikes. And then, when our staff got here for the business hour portion of the day, we would always try to create buzz about it, create excitement. And so we really, we created that buzz around the event, and people, no matter what time of day it was, morning, midday, night, we always had somebody encouraging people in our facility, in our wellness center, to jump on a bike and ride for the cause. So, just empowering your staff and empowering members to be leaders of this event, I think, was huge for us.
All right. So Josh, on the screen here, we've got a picture of what you guys did to kind of engage your members, this Rally for the Y kind of track. Talk to me about this and kind of where it was in your Y, and how you came to kind of create this for the rally.
Sure. So we have a unique wall space right outside of our wellness center that we specifically just use for display pieces. So we decided to buy some racetrack tape and create a track on the wall. And then, as you can see, we created an individual rider for each person who participated and joined our team. And we had mile markers. And so every day I would run a report and just kind of update where everybody was. And on the right, we posted every day, we would post our top 3 riders in terms of miles, and then also our top 3 riders in funds raised. And then on the left, we had kind of like a little thermometer tracking system where we set our goal. Our goal was, and at the time we thought it was a lofty goal of raising $4,000. And then we ended up finishing at $5,500, but we would track the amount of money we raised, and every single person who left our wellness center, they would stop and look at this. And if they weren't a part of it, they asked how they could be a part of it. And so it was just a nice visual image that attracted a lot of attention for our members and staff walking in and out of that area of the building.
So Josh, you guys had the HD bikes, which how did you get, you created that buzz and you got new members to sign up. How did you do that right at the point of kind of them asking that question?
Sure. So we did it 2 ways. We have we have a welcome desk, a small welcome desk in our wellness center with a computer. So if anybody came in and was interested in the rally, or just wanted to find out more information, we could actually help them create an Expresso account right in our wellness center, so they wouldn't have to leave that general area of the building. And then we also, after that, even referred people up to the front desk to get more information specifically on the event. But it was a nice way to, communicate and publicize the event, and then right away be able to lock somebody into joining our team and getting the correct information with having the ability to sign them up right in our wellness center. So that was pretty key for us.
All right, great. Thank you so much, Josh. Next, we're going to move on to Courtney Severson. Courtney has a great picture up here, as you can see. Courtney comes from the Metro Atlanta Y, where she serves as the financial development director. And you can see her stats there: 51 riders, $2,900 raised. Courtney, you come from the development side of the Y world. So aside from the 10 cents a mile, I know you didn't raise that, $2,900 through just the 10 cents alone. How did you leverage the rally to help kind of create more support around your annual campaign?
Yeah, so this has been a really great activity for us. And first, I would just echo what Mike and Josh have said. And our wellness director is really the true mastermind on all of that side of things. But communicating early and often and generating that excitement and having messaging and balloons and display something that really make riders feel celebrated and valued for their contribution and raises awareness amongst other members really plays into the campaign part as well. So it's not just about getting them to ride. It really raises awareness about the fact that we have the annual campaign and what that is supporting. Doug, I would also echo what you said. It is a very easy ask, but full disclosure, I mean, I was not a huge proponent of this when I first heard about it the first year. This is going to be our third year. And I said, oh, that's an event. And, we've really moved away from the event model. So what I would encourage everyone to do, because we have found it is not a typical event. So don't think about it as an event. The dollars raised are really a secondary piece of it, and the primary benefit is the engagement piece. So in thinking about it that way, what we have found is it really ticks a lot of boxes for our annual campaign success. So it's engaging a very specific, a very strong affinity group for us. It's actually led to a model of affinity group challenges in other areas as well that our wellness team spearheads, and they meet their goal way faster than any of our other teams every year now in the annual campaign by employing this model. It has brought in new donors. Many of these are also serving as campaigners now, and for those who were prior donors, their donations have all increased. So obviously that's the goal we're really working towards, and it engages staff in a really specific way. They're having these personal face-to-face conversations with riders. It's not just about asking them to ride, it's about asking them to commit and give of themselves and their money as well.
Great. So Courtney, on here, we have one of the rally superstars, Ladd Jones here. Tell us a little bit about Ladd's journey and kind of how Ladd as a member really helps your campaign every year.
Yeah, so Ladd's one of those that I would say, I mean, he gave when asked every year, he'd give his $100 or whatever that looks like. And through the rally, he not only has increased his personal donation and become a campaigner and really supported a lot of the other riders too. What's really interesting about the community is they sponsor each other because they're really trying to cheer each other on, which I think strengthens the community as a whole. But he actually plans for the rally now each year and tries to reach his new personal best each year, which is a pretty stout feat because his personal best is pretty darn good. I can't remember the first year how many miles he rode, but it was, I mean, he was like number 1,000. Yeah, it was over 1,000 miles. He was like number one in the world. And at that time we were actually going through a renovation in our facility and it had been closed multiple days. The other thing that I think is really interesting about Ladd, and I'm sure others will find this about members that engage in this way too, he's really pushing us to communicate more with all of our members, to let them know the opportunities that exist to engage with the campaign, and this just being one of them. So it really helps us to spread our message. He's also a really recognizable figure at our Y because he's basically always here on the bikes. So we kind of place the bike in a prominent location so that he can be there talking to people as they walk by.
All right. Every branch needs a Ladd, that's for sure.
That's right.
All right. Well, thank you, Courtney. Next up, we're going to hear from Kim Miller. Kim is the wellness director at the South Valley YMCA, part of the Silicon Valley. They had 68 riders and raised over $2,500. Kim, you guys had 70 riders, but you guys took a different approach as far as recognizing them. Tell everybody on the call how you kind of continually engaged and incentivized and motivated your participants throughout the month and even at the end of the rally.
Okay, sure. I think one of the main things that helped us was having that leaderboard. We had the top 5 riders as far as miles went, and then also as far as dollars raised. So people could see that every day where they stood, and they really used that as motivation, trying to beat each other. And then we also offered some prizes. So anybody who rode 100 miles got one of our amazing, awesome water bottles. And then anybody who raised $100 received a YMCA pullover. And that really sounds like little things, but really did push people to at least hit those 2 goals.
All right. So, Kim, as part of your rally, you really got the staff engaged. You had 5 key leaders for your rally. Talk a little bit about what levels of staff those were and how they really took your campaign to the next level.
Sure. We had not only wellness staff, but we really got our front desk engaged, and I think that was key for us because they greet everybody that comes in. And one of our top riders, he was actually, I believe he was second, was our front desk staff, and everybody really loves him. So they would see him on the bike every day for a couple hours, and I think that really helped motivate people to want to also join in with him. He rode during our more quiet hours, so we would find that the bikes were busy even in the middle of the day when typically they were not always so busy. In the beginning, the bikes, we would have people on them, but after this particular Expresso event, now you never see those bikes empty. It's pretty amazing how much this caught on, not just during February.
All right, great. You also had a great display. Can you just tell us a little bit about what this was? And, I think, a lot of the successful Ys on this call today found ways to kind of put the rally on display. Tell us a little bit about your display and how your marketing team got involved.
Sure. Our marketing person came up with this particular display. She did a great job. It caught everybody's eye. And it was just outside our wellness center, so everyone who came in saw this, and it was hard to miss. It's probably 6 feet tall, so people would ask questions about it, and then everybody wanted to have, if you can see over on the far side, there are little badges, and so everyone had their name up there. So people wanted to get their name up there. They were excited about the event, and yeah. And then slowly we did move. We have a cyclist down at the bottom, and we put a goal of $2,000, not really knowing if we would make it or not. This was our first year, and of course we did, and it was very exciting. People were commenting on how the bike, got closer and closer, and then of course that just made people work even harder.
All right. Well, thank you so much. So we've now heard from everybody. What we're going to do now is we have the option, and I'm going to turn it over to our marketing person, Ross, to let you guys ask any questions that you might have out there. So Ross, kind of explain to our guests how that works.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. If you do have a question, there's 2 ways to ask it. One is in your webinar control panel, there's a spot where you can type in a question. And if you have one, then I'll read that off. Or get that over to Doug. And then secondarily, if you do want to, you can, there's a button that you can press to raise your hand. And if you do that, then I can key you into the webinar and let you ask that way. And so go ahead and ask one of those 2 ways, and we'll get your questions answered. And then Doug, I think you may have had some already.
Yep. So I did have some questions. So for any of you out there, how did you engage members and communicate externally through either social media or email? What tactics did you guys take to kind of spread the word about the rally?
Oh, I can go ahead. This is Kim. We used Facebook, and we would post our riders, the top 5 riders, the top 5 that have raised dollars. We used Facebook quite a bit. and then people could engage back with us. So that seemed to be pretty successful.
Great.
This is Mike here. We actually have this in our program guide every year. So it's, hopefully you guys don't end ever doing this because we put it in our program guide. Facebook heavily. Word of mouth by far was the most popular for us and the quickest way to sign people up. And I forgot to mention assigning team captains, and those team captains, you'd be amazed at how many people we had the team captain sign up on their cell phone through the Expresso website. So that was an amazing tool to use.
Great. All right.
Okay. We do have a question here that was typed in. The question is, when you said you had speakers, did you mean for sound or someone who came in and talked while they were riding? Yeah,
that was for that definitely like DJ speakers. We were basically having a big party.
Awesome.
All right. So another question.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. It looks like Sean Weiss has a question here. Sean, I'm going to go ahead and unmute you, and you can let the group know what your question here as well. Sean, are you there?
Yes, sorry, that was my question. I typed the question in.
Okay, sorry about that. A little confusion. All right, Doug, and I think you may have had a couple others.
All right. I was just going to ask if any of our Y partners on the call leveraged any of their corporate sponsors or any vendors to help support either sponsoring riders or the rally as a whole. Did anybody have that be part of their experience?
I'll speak to that a little bit. We did not leverage outside partners or vendors, but I should have mentioned when I was speaking, this is a really great engagement opportunity with Expresso as well, with you guys. I mean, it's a really tremendous way for you to get involved with WISE and for us to really get involved with you and to participate with our mission. So we really appreciate not just all of the resources that you put into this, not just financially, but all of the support that you provide and the fact that you make this such a priority for your company. I think it's a really great thing to do, and we appreciate it.
Well, thank you. That's part of our mission at Expresso, is to really create true partnerships. And this, me being from the YMCA with a background, it was such a, I participated in the rally last year, and I'm pleased to be able to participate this year, because it's a great collaboration of people raising money to give back, to the communities that need it most, and those dollars are so important to your WISE, and any role we can play in that is certainly, we're happy to do that. So, all right, well, I'm looking at the time. Yep.
If you can, I have one more question here. This is from Marty White. So Marty has raised his hand, and I'm going to unmute you, Marty, so you can join us, and then that probably will take us to the end. Marty, okay. Are you there? Hi, Marty. Are you able to hear us or talk, ask your question? All right.
Oh.
Well, sorry about that. Marty has raised his hand. Marty, if you can hear us, we'll try one more time, but then that's probably going to... Marty, are you there? All right. Sorry about that, Marty. We can connect afterwards.
All right. Well, all right. I want to be sensitive to everyone's time. I appreciate you cutting out some time to learn a little bit more about the rally. Hopefully you picked up on a tip or a tactic to help your Y be successful. I want to thank our speakers for helping us tell their stories. Mike, Josh, Courtney, and Kim, thank you for being here. And lastly, if your Y is not registered, please do so. That'll assure that you get all the tools that you have available to you through Expresso. Go to expresso.com/rally4the-Y. Or if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. My information's there, doug@expresso.com. And thank you all for joining us. Have a great afternoon. Have a great weekend.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.